Good day, liberators and fellow South Africans. I am so excited that I can share this with you that Liberty Fighters Network and myself have finally managed to lodge our long awaited application in the High Court Pretoria against the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority to request the court to review their decisions registering certain COVID-19 vaccines. Now, this was done on Friday, the 3rd of June 2022. Now, one would have expected that large organizations like Afriforum and Solidarity and you name them would have actually done this a long time ago, but they did not. Um, well, maybe they're going to do as they did when we have challenged the amendment to the health regulations and join afterwards. Um, but we going to be surprised if they do join in some way. We don't expect them to be honest, for obvious reasons. Um, Let me go to the application, and there it is. Um, Case number 30280 of 22. It was issued by the registrar on Friday and also delivered to the sheriff. And this is what we are asking the court, that all the decisions to approve and register any COVID-19 vaccine in terms of Section 15 of the Medicines and Related Substances Act of 1965 are reviewed, declared unconstitutional and invalid and set aside. Now, which vaccines are we talking about? And people, the entire approval process of all these COVID-19 vaccines have been molded in controversy and secrecy. We simply don't know which have been approved and whether they have indeed been approved. We only assume from bits and pieces that's out there, and the problem that we have experienced from the very beginning is the fact that certain COVID-19 vaccines have been approved for emergency use listing purposes only, meaning that they still remain candidate vaccines, and but they are safe to be clinically tested. So the World Health Organization still has not approved even one candidate vaccine as a final approved COVID-19 vaccine. And all of them, there's a couple of hundred of these candidate vaccines that's being tested, which are in clinical trials. All of them are in clinical trials. But we found this list that we can share with you. Um, this was on the vaccine tracker in South Africa, and apparently the Pfizer community, the Johnson at 26, the Serum Institute of India COVID Shield, that's the Oxford AstraZeneca formulation, and then Sinopharm's Covilo, and then Sinovac's CoronaVac. Um, Apparently, only those five have been registered in terms of Section 15, meaning that the SAHPRA have finally decided to register them. And based on a letter in our possession, dated the 16th of March, there was a request, a prior request earlier to ask whether which vaccines have been approved. And at that point, um, SAHPRA then said that in respect of confirming the registration of both Pfizer and J&J vaccines on the 25th of January 2022, and J&J was registered on the 30th of March 2021 already. But look at this, people. Based on the confirmation of registration, SAHPRA just said that, oh well, you know what, it's private. They may not they may not give that information, because it's privilege, it's private information. We need to request it from the manufacturers of those vaccines. So we don't have registration numbers because SAHPRA says that the registration numbers are privileged or private. Hence, according to the very act that they operate under, that registration number must be indicated on the package if it's approved. So if there's a registration number, it must be on the package. But we know that, as we also have stated in our papers, that the whole COVID-19 vaccines at these places where you can get them are so the security is so tight. You can't have the very amp or the holder of it after you've been vaccinated. Um, yeah, they're keeping everything from you, and now they need to provide us. Let me just quickly go to the letter we wrote to them on the 8th of April. We asked them for the entire record to prove that there is a COVID-19 vaccine registered. And they we've asked them, and they did not respond. So we were forced then to go to court now. But now in court, something else is going to happen. Besides the fact that, in accordance with our court application, they are supposed to provide a full record within 15 days, that is 3 weeks from now. Um, in our papers, we have also requested that they need to provide proof that the SARS-CoV-2 virus, in fact, had been isolated in order for a vaccine to be made and produced forward. Um, we remember that Ricardo Maarman had this court application in the Western Cape before to ask to show us the virus. But unfortunately, that court case just fell flat on its back. I followed it at some stage, and yeah, it just stopped. It wasn't pushed through, sadly. But now we demanding, and we're using the law itself applicable on the review applications, that that very information is provided to us. So if SAHPRA is not going to provide us with proof in that relation, they cannot approve a vaccine for it, meaning that the entire decision will fall flat on its back. So this can become the case of all cases that we were waiting for, to cut off the head of the kraken. So we really would like to push through up till the Constitutional Court. We know that our judiciary is not favouring COVID-19, anti-COVID-19 challenges. And we do expect that this very application might also not go the way that we want it to go. But we want to go all the way up to the Constitutional Court and see what the feeling of the judiciary once again is. And if we're not happy with the outcome, we will escalate it, just like the national state of disaster, which we have escalated October 2021 to the African Union. We'll do exactly the same with this. But remember that the national state of disaster that we've already got with the African Union, that they're busy investigating and looking at, obviously, if the national state of disaster would fall flat, all the vaccines and everything will fall flat automatically with it. So we are constantly in the government's face, and we're going to keep it until the very end. We're not going to stop. We're going to fight this. We want the answers. We, as the people of South Africa, have got a right to these information that have been denied to us since the very beginning. And people, I'm going to keep you updated with progress in this matter. Kindly subscribe to this channel, share it, share if you like this video, share it with others so that others also know about the work that we are doing. And yes, please like this.